The battle between Garou and the corrupted birds and sea creatures raged on, the intensity of their clashes echoing through the depths of the ocean. Garou's eyes glowed with white energy as he deftly dodged and countered the attacks of the purple-eyed creatures. You creatures may have speed and agility on your side, but I have the strength and determination to defeat you all, Garou declared, his voice echoing through the water. The corrupted penguin and sea turtle charged at Garou with incredible speed, their purple eyes glowing with malicious intent. Garou smirked as he turned and generated a powerful wave with his blue glowing hands, pushing the creatures back with the force of the water. You may be quick, but you lack the skill to defeat me, Garou taunted, his confidence unwavering. The battle continued, each combatant unleashing their most powerful moves in an attempt to gain the upper hand. The underwater arena became a chaotic scene of swirling bubbles and flashing lights as Garou and the corrupted creatures clashed with unmatched ferocity. As the battle raged on, Garou's determination only grew stronger. He refused to back down, even as the odds seemed stacked against him. The corrupted creatures' glowing purple eyes seemed to mock him, taunting him with their superior speed and agility. But Garou was not one to give up easily. With a fierce determination burning in his eyes, he continued to fight back with all his might. His blue glowing hands struck out with precision, aiming for the weak points of his opponents with unyielding determination. You may be fast, but I am unstoppable, Garou growled, his voice filled with resolve. The corrupted creatures, taken aback by Garou's unwavering determination, hesitated for a moment. In that split second, Garou seized the opportunity to strike. With a swift movement, he delivered a devastating blow to the creatures, sending them reeling back in shock. As the creatures regrouped and prepared to launch another attack, Garou smirked. He had them right where he wanted them. With a sudden burst of speed and agility, he dodged their incoming strikes and countered with a powerful wave move that sent them tumbling backwards. The underwater battlefield was now a scene of chaos and destruction, the sounds of clashing bodies and roaring waves filling the water. Garou's eyes glowed with determination as he fought with all his strength, refusing to give in to the overwhelming force of the corrupted creatures. In the end, it was Garou's unyielding determination and skill that won the day. The corrupted creatures, defeated and exhausted, retreated back to the dark depths of the ocean, their glowing purple eyes dull with defeat. Garou emerged from the underwater battle victorious, his blue glowing hands raised in triumph. He had faced the most formidable foes and emerged victorious. As he gazed out at the vast expanse of the ocean, a feeling of pride and accomplishment swept over him. I am Garou, the unstoppable force, he declared, his voice echoing through the water. And no creature, no matter how powerful, can stand in my way. And with that, Garou disappeared into the depths of the ocean, a legendary warrior whose name would be remembered for generations to come. Words. Garou, the human Garou from One Punch Man, stood tall amidst the chaos of the battle. His eyes glowed with white energy, his hands emanating a blue glow as he faced off against the three corrupted birds with their glowing purple eyes, a macaw, a pigeon, and a crow. The birds moved with unnatural speed, their purple eyes allowing them to outpace Garou at every turn. As Garou struck at them with his blue hands, they seemed to effortlessly heal and regenerate, making them formidable opponents. But Garou was not one to back down from a challenge. As the birds flew through the skies, they collided with him, pushing him through a portal that led him deep underwater. There, he found himself facing off against a corrupted penguin and sea turtle, both with their own purple glowing eyes that enhanced their speed and agility. The underwater battle was relentless. Garou used his wave move to push back the corrupted creatures, but they quickly recovered and came at him with even more ferocity. The battle raged on, with Garou dodging and countering the speedy attacks of the purple-eyed penguin and sea turtle. As the battle continued, two more corrupted sea creatures, a seal and a sea lion, joined the fray. The depths of the ocean became a battleground as Garou and the four corrupted sea animals clashed with incredible speed and acrobatics, their movements graceful yet deadly. Garou's determination never wavered. He used his wave move to push back his opponents, forcing them to retreat to the darker depths of the ocean. Despite the intense battle, Garou remained calm and focused, his smirk never leaving his face as he faced down his enemies. The underwater battle was a test of endurance and skill, with Garou pushing himself to his limits to overcome the formidable opponents before him. As the bubbles escaped his mouth underwater, Garou knew that he would emerge victorious, no matter the challenges he faced. In the end, the corrupted sea creatures retreated, their glowing purple eyes fading into the darkness of the ocean depths. Garou emerged from the depths, his blue hands still glowing with energy, a victorious smile on his face. The battle had been intense, but Garou had emerged triumphant. He had proven that no matter how powerful his enemies might be, he would always rise to the challenge and emerge victorious. And as he stood on the shore, watching the sun set over the horizon, Garou knew that he was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Words. As the sun set over the horizon, Garou found himself engaged in a relentless battle with three corrupted birds. Their glowing purple eyes seemed to pulse with malevolent energy as they swooped and dove around him, their speed outpacing even Garou's enhanced reflexes. Come on, you feathered freaks. Garou growled, his own eyes glowing with white energy as he unleashed a barrage of strikes from his blue glowing hands. But to his frustration, the birds seemed almost immune to his attacks, their wounds healing almost instantly. You'll have to do better than that, Garou. Cackled the crow, its voice a high-pitched screech that grated on Garou's nerves. Gritting his teeth, Garou focused on dodging their attacks, his body moving with impossible speed and agility as he tried to keep up with the relentless assault. But no matter how hard he fought, the birds always seemed one step ahead, their glowing eyes giving them an unnatural advantage. Suddenly, the birds worked together, coordinating their attacks to drive Garou towards a swirling portal that appeared out of nowhere. With a cry of frustration, Garou felt the impact of their beaks colliding with his body, sending him hurtling through the portal and into the depths of the ocean. As he tumbled through the water, Garou's mind raced, trying to devise a strategy to defeat his underwater foes. But before he could gather his wits, a pair of corrupted sea creatures, a penguin and a sea turtle, rose up to meet him, their purple eyes shining with malicious intent. Garou's eyes glowed with renewed determination as he clashed with the creatures, his body moving with a fluid grace that matched their own speed and agility. He unleashed wave after wave of power from his hands, pushing back the creatures with each strike. But just like before, they seemed to shrug off his attacks, regenerating almost as quickly as he could deal damage. The battle raged on, the sounds of their collisions echoing through the empty silence of the underwater world. Garou's bubbles rose to the surface as he fought with all his might, his body a blur of motion as he evaded their strikes and countered with his own. But just when he thought he had the upper hand, two new challengers emerged from the darkness, a purple-eyed seal and sea lion, their bodies sleek and powerful as they joined in the fray. Garou's smirk never wavered as he faced the new opponents, his eyes locking with theirs as they circled each other in the murky depths. The battle became a tangled mess of limbs and glowing eyes, each combatant pushing themselves to the limit in an effort to gain the upper hand. In the end, it was Garou who triumphed, his wave move proving too much for the corrupted sea beasts to handle. With a final burst of power, he sent them retreating back to the darker depths, his victory complete. As he floated in the silent ocean, Garou couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. The battle may have been fierce, but in the end, he had emerged victorious, proving once again that he was a force to be reckoned with. And as he looked up towards the surface, his eyes still glowing with power, Garou knew that he was ready for whatever challenges came his way. Words. 5. As Garou emerged from the depths of the ocean, he found himself face with the massive purple-eyed prehistoric alligator, Dinosuchus, and the oversized crocodile, Sarcosuchus. The two predators stared at Garou with their glowing purple eyes, their massive bodies looming over him in the darkness of the ocean depths. You dare to challenge us, human? Dinosuchus growled, his voice deep and rumbling in the water. You may have bested our minions, but you will not defeat us. Garou smirked, his white glowing eyes narrowing as he readied himself for the coming battle. I have faced stronger foes than you before, he replied confidently. I will not back down. With a roar, Dinosuchus lunged at Garou, his massive jaws snapping shut inches from the human's face. Garou dodged the attack with incredible speed, darting away from the prehistoric beast and countering with a powerful punch to its side. Sarcosuchus joined the fray, his massive tail swinging through the water with deadly accuracy. Garou danced and weaved between the two predators, using his speed and agility to avoid their attacks and strike back with precision. The battle raged on in the darkness of the ocean depths, the glowing purple eyes of the prehistoric predators casting an eerie light on the scene. Garou fought with all his strength, using his blue glowing hands to deliver devastating blows to his opponents. As the battle reached its peak, Garou found himself surrounded on all sides by the massive prehistoric beasts. Dinosuchus and Sarcosuchus worked together in perfect synchrony, their glowing purple eyes flashing with malevolent intent. But Garou was not one to be easily defeated. With a fierce battle cry, he unleashed a flurry of punches and kicks, his blue energy crackling around him. The prehistoric predators roared in pain as Garou's attacks landed true, sending them reeling back. In a final, desperate move, Dinosuchus and Sarcosuchus lunged at Garou with all their might, their massive bodies crashing into him in a flurry of teeth and claws. But Garou stood his ground, his white glowing eyes blazing with determination. With a swift, powerful motion, Garou unleashed a devastating wave of energy that sent the prehistoric predators flying back, their glowing purple eyes dimming as they retreated into the depths of the ocean. As the last echoes of the battle faded away, Garou stood alone in the darkness of the ocean depths, his chest heaving with exertion. He had emerged victorious once again, his strength and skill as a fighter unmatched. And as he swam back to the surface, Garou knew that he would always be ready to face whatever challenges came his way, his blue glowing hands a symbol of his unwavering determination and resilience. The world may be full of dangers and threats, but as long as Garou was around, humanity would always have a protector against the forces of darkness. Words. 477. In the world of One Punch Man, the fearsome Garou, known as the human monster, was seen engaging in a fierce battle with 3 corrupted birds. These birds, with glowing purple eyes that shone like macaw, pigeon, and crow, used their unnatural speed and agility to outpace Garou. Their glowing eyes seemed to enhance their abilities, making them a formidable opponent for the skilled fighter. Garou, however, was not one to back down from a challenge. His eyes glowed with white energy as he summoned his blue glowing hands to strike at the corrupted birds. But to his dismay, the birds seemed to instantly heal and regenerate from his attacks, proving to be a resilient force to reckon with. The 3 corrupted birds took to the skies, soaring effortlessly as they used their purple-eyed agility to push Garou towards a mysterious portal. With a swift collision of their glowing beaks, Garou was sent hurtling into the depths of the ocean below. Now submerged underwater, Garou found himself faced with new adversaries, a purple-eyed corrupted penguin and sea turtle. These creatures, with their glowing eyes, moved with incredible speed and agility underwater, making it a challenging fight for Garou. But Garou was not one to be easily defeated. His eyes glowed white once more as he unleashed his blue wave moves to push back the corrupted penguin and sea turtle. The battle raged on, with the underwater arena providing a dynamic and thrilling backdrop for their clash. As the battle continued, 2 more corrupted sea creatures, a seal and sea lion, joined the fray. Garou found himself outnumbered, but his skill and determination shone through as he deftly maneuvered through the water, using his wave moves to fend off his opponents. The intensity of the battle drew the attention of their leaders, the oversized prehistoric alligator Dinosuchus and crocodile Sarcosuchus, who watched from the darker depths of the ocean. Impressed by the prowess of their underlings, the giant leaders observed the chaotic underwater battle unfold with keen interest. Garou, with his unmatched speed and agility, proved to be a formidable adversary for the corrupted sea creatures. The underwater arena provided a unique and challenging environment for the fighters, with the constant ebb and flow of the water adding an extra layer of complexity to the battle. As the battle reached its climax, Garou smirked confidently as he pushed back the corrupted sea beasts, forcing them to retreat to the depths of the ocean. Victorious in his underwater showdown, Garou emerged from the depths, his blue glowing hands still crackling with energy, ready for whatever challenges may come his way. The event-driven narrative of Garou's epic battle with the corrupted creatures, set against the backdrop of the underwater world, provided a thrilling and dynamic tale filled with twists and turns. The complex creativity of the story, combined with the thrilling genre of the battle, kept readers on the edge of their seats as they followed Garou's journey through the depths of the ocean and back again. Words. Garou smirked as he dodged another strike from the purple-eyed penguin underwater. You're fast, I'll give you that, he said, his eyes glowing with white energy as he prepared to counterattack. The corrupted sea turtle lunged towards him, its purple eyes blazing with power. You're no match for us, Garou. We have the speed and agility to outpace you at every turn, it hissed, its voice echoing through the water. Garou chuckled, his blue glowing hands ready to strike. You underestimate me, he said confidently. I may not have your speed, but I have something you don't. As the sea creatures closed in on him, Garou unleashed a powerful wave of energy, pushing them back and creating a barrier between him and his opponents. The water churned and roiled as the creatures tried to break through, but Garou held his ground. Is that all you got? He taunted, his eyes flashing with determination. I've faced stronger opponents than you. The corrupted sea creatures growled in frustration, their purple eyes narrowed in anger. We will not be defeated so easily, the purple-eyed seal snarled, its voice echoing through the water. Garou smiled, his confidence unwavering. Bring it on, he challenged, ready for whatever they threw at him. As the battle raged on, Garou's movements became even more fluid and precise, his speed matching that of his opponents. The underwater arena became a blur of motion as Garou and the corrupted sea creatures clashed relentlessly. Impressive, a deep voice rumbled through the water, catching everyone off guard. The giant leaders, Deinosuchus and Sarcosuchus, had arrived, their purple eyes glowing ominously. Garou eyed the oversized creatures warily, knowing that they would be a formidable challenge. Looks like things just got a whole lot more interesting, he muttered to himself. The corrupted sea creatures bowed before their leaders, recounting their battle with Garou and how he had managed to hold his own against them. Deinosuchus and Sarcosuchus regarded Garou with a mixture of curiosity and respect. You have proven yourself to be a worthy adversary, Garou, Deinosuchus rumbled. We shall test your abilities ourselves. Garou braced himself, ready for whatever came next. The underwater arena was about to become even more treacherous as he prepared to face the giant leaders head-on. As Deinosuchus and Sarcosuchus lunged towards him, Garou's eyes blazed with determination. He would not back down, not now, not ever. This was a battle he intended to win. The underwater battle continued for what seemed like an eternity, with Garou facing off against the giant leaders and their minions. The water churned and boiled with the force of their attacks, the sound of their battle echoing through the depths. In the end, it was Garou who emerged victorious, his white energy burning brightly as he stood triumphant. The corrupted sea creatures lay defeated at his feet, their purple eyes dimming as they acknowledged his strength. You are truly a force to be reckoned with, Garou, Deinosuchus rumbled, his voice filled with respect. We shall not forget this day. Garou nodded, a sense of satisfaction filling him. He had faced some of the most powerful opponents yet and emerged victorious. The thrill of battle coursed through his veins, fueling his desire to become even stronger. As he swam back towards the surface, Garou knew that his journey was far from over. There were still more challenges to face, more battles to win. But for now, he reveled in the glory of his victory, a smile tugging at the corners of his lips. The underwater world may be vast and dangerous, but Garou was ready for whatever it threw at him. After all, he was the human Garou, and nothing could stand in his way. Words.